Hey, what is going on, Brick Squad? Welcome back to another episode of Building Anaxes in LEGO here on the channel. Today we have week number 4, I think. I missed last week. I apologize. I was in Florida. I got to hang out with Eminar, Blaine, Anthony, made some pretty fun vlogs, so definitely worth the trip and definitely worth taking a break. But nonetheless, we were back here in the legendary studio getting a lot of stuff done for you this week, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy this segment. Before we go ahead and get any further, I do want to give a huge thank you to our 2 weekly Anaxes Build Series sponsors. We have number 1, Brick Stuff. You guys know Rob makes absolutely top of the line light up products. If you guys haven't seen Rob's stuff in use, check out week 3, link down below in the description. The tower that was lit up with lights was all from Brick Stuff. So small, so easy to use, guys. And of course, if you guys do want to order some stuff from Rob, make sure you use the coupon code TBW10. I apologize, I got that coupon code wrong, but for those of you guys, that was the new updated one. It works perfectly fine, saves you some money, and of course helps me out a little bit with these projects. And sponsor number 2, last but certainly not least, we have Minifigs for you. You guys know David's company has generously supplied the Bad Batch figures, and we are ready to roll with those guys. Go and check them out down below in the description. So everyone, what does week 4 of Building Anaxes in LEGO have in store for you guys? Well, if you guys have been paying attention to the weekly series, I have been talking a lot about how the first couple of weeks of the build series will be mainly focusing on that front section, obviously getting a lot of that stuff done. I'm trying to work from front to back, getting as much as I can possibly done with the front wall sections and the terrain. So that is exactly where a lot of the progress for this week lies, with the front section, getting the front terrain, and starting the front wall. So a lot of awesome stuff to show you guys in this week's Anaxes segment. And I do, of course, want to give a huge thank you to everybody who has donated to my channel. Of course, I love you guys seriously so much. You have no idea how much your support means to me. Now, I actually do weekly live streams of me building my MOCs. You guys can join, have some fun. It's a great time to see a lot of the progress earlier before many other people get to see them in these Saturday videos. So make sure you guys subscribe down below if you are new, and of course drop a like on the video and hit that bell icon, that way you guys know as soon as I go live. Without any further delay, no more talking, let's go ahead and actually jump to some time lapses I took. I'm trying something new this week, guys. I'm basically gonna show you guys a couple of time lapses of me working on the MOC and then some just background music. So let me know what you guys think. Would you rather me have the time lapses with my commentary, or would you rather just have the time lapses with some music in the background? So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, enjoy the show, and let's go ahead and get on into Building Anaxes in LEGO week 4. Alrighty guys, so first things first, I actually did switch up the layout for Anaxes. You guys know it runs like long ways, so this front side's actually supposed to be lined up on this side. Obviously, it's all supposed to face that way, but I figured for sake of today's video to give you guys an overhead shot of what we got done for this week and sort of for the progress of the entire thing, I wanted to bring it out so it's kind of easier to see, I guess, because obviously it's a little more cluttered over there, but I want to give you guys an overhead view of what this entire thing is looking like. Now, obviously, like I kind of hinted at in the video, this is sort of going to be where the majority of our progress this week was, but I did want to start off this week 4 segment by giving you an overhead view as to what it's going to kind of look like. Again, imagine this whole side sort of, again, copied onto this side. I think it's going to serve you really well in terms of trying to get an overhead view and sort of just a look, I guess, at the MOC and trying to see what it's going to be like when it is done. But so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the progress for this week. As I said before in previous segments, the main goal for the first couple of weeks of Anaxes is obviously to get this first section done, and I think we're doing great. I think we're making really great strides towards that. Majority of this week's progress was done both on and off stream, as you guys saw with the time lapses before. So first things first, we did end up getting some work here done with this whole front section of the lake. Now, both front sections are mostly done. I still have to do some more terrain work in terms of sort of linking the base wall and a little bit of other stuff inside the base to the exterior. This whole section needs a lot of work. This is in no means a final product, like basically this whole front section here. There's still a lot more stuff to change about this. Obviously, some more tiles, some more detail, and like the red trees and foliage, stuff like that. It actually did take a little bit longer than usual to get progress done for this week's side, at least like this whole lake lake right here. I'm not too sure why. If you guys remember week 2, I was able to bang out this whole entire front section in 1 week, and then obviously spent the tower last week. But I don't know why, but just for some reason it took a little bit longer than usual. Maybe that's a good thing because I'm sort of learning as I'm going, trying to make it look the best that I possibly can. So that's kind of what we did, at least for the first part of this week, getting that front lake section done, the river section. I gotta say, again, getting an overhead view, I think adding that river, adding that lake definitely gives it a really, really great sort of, I guess, aesthetic. I'm trying to move my light a little closer because if you take a look back, obviously it's nice to see the clear lake in the front as opposed to just having some normal terrain. So I got to give a huge thank you to Lee and Jack, who actually kind of introduced me to this idea of getting this river initially in the front of the MOC. I think it came out really nice, and definitely I'm happy with the way it looks for sure. I think I'm really perfecting, or at least becoming very proficient at using the whole wedges as sort of the shoreline, river line. So I think that does look great. So once again, so guys, let me know down in the comments what you're thinking of how that river sort of ties into the MOC. I think it's definitely a great addition. Now, the only other part that we got done this week, or not only, because this is actually a lot of parts here, is definitely going to be starting this other corner wall. Now, like I said, I was able to finish a whole entire wall section in 1 week. Unfortunately, just given the amount of videos I'm making and the content that I had, especially coming home from Florida and some other stuff in the works, I was not able to get the whole entire wall done, but I was able to basically get the entire front, like, portion done to the point where this week we can definitely get the wall done. We can definitely get an overhead shot of what this entire thing looks like with both corners, and maybe even try to get another tower. I'm not making any promises for progress this week, but also a majority of the time spent here was definitely getting the first layer of bricks down for that wall. You guys know the wall is modular. I'll show you guys again here. It's really easy. All you have to do is sort of get a little bit of energy here, lift up the wall, take it off, stuff like that. So obviously underneath there are a couple of pieces and other elements that sort of make it modular, and that's again the same idea to have with this side of the base wall. Obviously they're going to be replicated exactly the same, and now the only other thing that we need to do in terms of planning for this base wall is actually going to be starting on the straight section. So obviously there's going to be a section right here that keeps going, and I want to get one of those done. That way we can sort of lay out the entire first layer, like this part, foundation for the entire MOC. I think it's going to let us sort of make great progress in the next couple of weeks. We're definitely going to try and get this front first section done, or I guess the front second section done for next week. That way we can kind of get an overhead view. Honestly, the entire goal for next week is to get this whole like front section done, not like behind in the corners, because obviously there are buildings there that are going to be taking up in other weekly segments, but we are going to be trying to get like a whole front section done, getting some clones and getting like a whole really nice, aesthetically pleasing, good looking front section. And another thing I wanted to run by you guys is this little sort of technique thing I sort of came up with the wall, or I guess not the wall, the tower. Basically, you guys know a couple of weeks ago, maybe even like the first or second week, I introduced these guys. These are kind of just like barricades on the road. I didn't really think any more of it. But what I realized is it actually kind of looks really cool at the base of a tower. Now, obviously, it looks very simple, very plain without them. But I was thinking, if we can wrap this entire thing around the towers and like sort of put it like that, I think that looks really good. I think it like provides, obviously it doesn't serve like a function to it, like there's no structure, I guess, like bonus for adding this, but I think in terms of like just sort of making sense in Lego terms, like it would make sense to have it there because it would obviously be holding up this whole entire tower. So let me know what you guys think of that. I thought they were going to be used as barricades, and I kind of made these out of my random parts bin from I guess like one of the bins over there. But I think it came out really nice, and I do like it. Obviously, I would have it wrap around and be like a full circle, and then we can kind of put it right over here. And I just have to move it over one stud because it does like kind of get in the way of the wall. But in other terms, like I think that looks great. So let me know what you guys think. I definitely don't have enough parts to do it for every single one, but I'd be more than happy to order these parts because I think it looks great. I think it gives the tower a little bit more of a realistic sort of clone era aesthetic, I guess, if that makes sense. So let me know what you guys think of that. But that's going to kind of wrap up the entire section, I guess, and overall progress. I'm probably not going to be working on the snot for a while because I want to make sure I have enough parts, obviously, to get this whole front section done. Like I said before, we're going to be spending a lot of time, probably the next 1 or 2 more segments, getting this front section finalized. I'm also currently in the process of sort of trying to get some like tree design, stuff like that. Now, I do have a couple of these pieces up here, which honestly I think are too big. I think it's going to throw the scale off if I were to make sort of like trees and foliage with those pieces, but I'm still trying to get some ideas for the red sort of mushroom tree things, if that makes sense. So if you guys in the comments watching this actually have any suggestions or like LDD or Stud.io files you'd like to send or trying to make up for the trees in the front, let me know because I'm honestly hitting a creative block. I don't know what to do for that. But in terms of physical build progress, I'm actually really happy with what we got done this week. I know it might not be quite at the same standard as the week 2, but definitely a great addition, and this is honestly coming together really well. Like, obviously, when you build Crate and Kessel, it takes a while for it to start coming together, but honestly, I could proudly say this thing's coming together pretty well, and I'm actually really surprised. I think that Anaxes is one of those mocks where it's going to start coming together fast, not necessarily meaning there's going to be less segments, but the more work you put in, it's going to result in more progress being like very upfront and very obvious to everyone for them to see. So I think it's going to be a great thing in terms of going further into this build series. We're going to have a lot of fuel, a lot of passion, and a lot of sort of energy going further, because we're only in week 4, guys. Obviously, we've missed a couple of segments already due to other things, but this mock is already taking shape, and I think it wasn't until maybe like halfway through Kessel where you really start to see the mock taking shape. But I'm happy with what's been done, and I think you guys are too. So once again, guys, comment down below what you're thinking. Of course, if you're liking any part of this mock, go ahead and drop a like down below. But with all that being said, let's go ahead on to the outro of today's segment. Alrighty, guys, that's gonna wrap up building Anaxes in Lego week number 4. Hope you all enjoyed. We will, of course, be back next week, week 5. No week break as far as I know of. However, Chicago is coming up, so I will address that in next week's video. So really briefly, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the future segments of Anaxes. As I said before, a lot of the progress for the next couple of more weeks will be focusing on this front section. Like, the idea for next week is to get the front corner wall built, and maybe even the tower if I have enough time. I'm not too sure. I got some projects coming. I'll be filming a pretty big video for Beyond the Brick. I'll be live tomorrow on my channel, Sunday, depending on when you're watching this, building some new Harry Potter sets for Beyond the Brick and making a review for them. So I'm going to be a little busy this week. I'm going to try and get as much progress as I can done, but the next couple of segments will still be focusing on that front section. Of course, we will start to venture on into the back sections of the mock as the weeks come. I also hope you guys appreciated me sort of bringing the mock into a little bit of a different angle. I obviously, like I said before, it's sort of angled to go that way, but I angled it different just so you guys can see a little bit more clear in this video. So let me know, do you guys like when I bring the mock out in the front and sort of let you all see it a little better, or do you mind it? Do you care? Because it doesn't really take that long, but I think it goes a long way in showing you a lot of progress that I have made. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up. I hope you all enjoyed. I do, again, want to give a huge thank you to our 2 weekly build series sponsors. Once again, Brick Stuff, guys. Again, some of the most high quality, top of the line, light up Lego custom products. Again, use coupon code TBW10 in checkout to save some money on your order. Go give Rob some love, guys. And of course, huge thank you to David from Minifigs for those awesome Bad Batch figures. I'm very happy with where Anaxes is right now. As I said before a little bit, I'm starting to see a lot of like real progress being made. If you guys have been with me through Kessel or Crate in the previous build series, you'll know that really around maybe halfway through the mock, you kind of start to see it form, and really the weeks leading up to that can kind of get tiring out because you're working on it so much and you only see so little done in sort of the grand scheme of things. But I think, but in my opinion, I think Anaxes is already starting to take shape, which is really encouraging to me. I'm sure you guys know I've never been more excited and more hyped for a project other than this build, and so it's great to see the progress coming alive. It's great to see everything sort of coming together so fast, and I think it's definitely going to serve to benefit the series. Of course, I really hope you guys enjoyed the segment. If you guys are brand new to the channel, please go ahead and consider subscribing. You have no idea how happy I am when I get some more subs, and of course, you guys are not going to want to miss any more segments in the future. But until then, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. Once again, I'll be live tomorrow, Sunday, building some Harry Potter sets, and I'll see y'all later. Take it easy, fam. Peace.